Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. This is episode 202. That's right, 2 weeks ago was our milestone 200th episode where we gave away a stunning Asus VivoBook Flip 14 laptop valued at $599. And that went to a lucky listener who entered the draw and whose name was randomly chosen. And last week, I talked about another contest for a $100 Hotels.com gift card giveaway. The winner to that draw was Andrea Anderson in Washington. Congrats. We'll have 3 more draws this summer, by the way, courtesy of Hotels.com. So stay tuned for that. All right, this is Tech It Out. I'm your host, Mark Saltzman. We have a great show planned for you this hour. When you read a review of something online, like a product you want to buy on Amazon, a hotel or resort review, or even if you want to see what others thought of a restaurant you're considering, do you trust that review? Well, we'll learn why you might not want to when we chat with Nixplay, the makers of some pretty sweet digital photo frames. They'll explain what's going on when it comes to fake reviews. And you thought it was just fake news, right? Fake reviews are a thing too, unfortunately. We'll kick things off in a moment with tech expert Amber Mack about some summer picks, and I'll share some ideas as well, including a high-tech grill, a barbecue and smoker in one that's Wi-Fi enabled from Traeger. We'll also learn about a new app for spending time in the outdoors with some new friends called Pastimes. All of this and more on a brand new Tech It Out, powered by Asus, which I'll tell you more about shortly. But let's officially kick off the show with our first interview. As the weather heats up, many of us are thinking about some fun summer activities for the entire family. And to chat with us about the hottest in tech toys to enjoy in the great outdoors, or maybe to cool off inside on a hot and humid day, we're joined by one of my favorite guests, tech expert Amber Mack. Welcome back to the show, Amber.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
You always have such great ideas, as I mentioned, for the family as well. So why don't we start off with how kids can keep learning and having fun this summer?
Yeah, absolutely. So Nintendo Game Builder Garage just came out recently, and this is a game where kids can learn how to create and share their own video game. What's really cool about this is they have step-by-step lessons that are super easy to follow, making it accessible for all experience levels. And the idea is they basically learn about game design. So I think you're right, Mark. A lot of parents are looking for stuff for their kids to do inside, maybe when the weather's too hot or it's raining. And I love that this gives kids a chance to continue to learn.
Kids and kids at heart, because I'm playing Game Builder Garage myself. And it's funny, I was a little nervous picking this up because I thought you might need some coding experience, of which I have none, but you don't need any prior experience at all. It walks you through how to make, I think it's like a half a dozen games. But what's really neat, if you want, you can also share your games or download other people's creations. So that's the other part of the experience. It's not just the 6 core games, but you can also see what other people are doing.
And I will say that for my son, I think he's the perfect age. He's 12. So being able to do his own coding and learn this way is awesome. Another really creative opportunity for young kids is Lego Music Video Maker. So this is for Lego fans. And I know Lego fans are of all ages. And through this app, what you can do is build characters with physical Lego. And then essentially what you do, Mark, is you bring these characters to life within the app. So it's an augmented reality app, and you create your own music video. So it's super easy to use. Just imagine scanning your Lego character, and then there are sound effects and dance effects and all of these cool features, and you can turn any surface in your home into a virtual stage. So another way that kids can be really creative.
Prices only start at $19.99 for the Lego Video, and that's spelled VIDIYO, the characters that you can buy. And then the app is free to download and use, and they have a partnership with Warner Music, so you're getting licensed music tracks for your music videos. Again, fusing the physical Lego pieces with the virtual or digital, which is really neat. Also, STEM learning, much like the Nintendo game you touched on for the Switch. It's teaching those science, technology, engineering, and math in a fun way.
And we know that when we talk about gaming, one thing that I wanted to chat about is a gaming router. So this is created specifically for gaming homes like my house. It's from TP-Link. It's the Archer GX90 Wi-Fi 6 gaming router. So the idea behind this router is that it has a dedicated gaming band. So the idea is for gamers in the home. This means that there's really low latency and quick response time. Mark, I know you are a gamer, so you understand what I mean. But still, other people in the household can enjoy whatever they're doing in terms of streaming or working as well. But again, it's designed so that gamer in the house has almost like a dedicated lane on the highway if we think about the internet like that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that's the Archer GX90 gaming router. I think I can hear your son yelling and playing video games right now.
Oh, gosh, you probably can. I should probably close the door.
And I like that it's a Wi-Fi 6 router, which is the latest standard, which, as you touched on, isn't just for faster speeds. And they also have things like better parental controls, but support for more simultaneous devices on the network. And with so many of us now working and schooling from home under the same roof, that bandwidth can be an issue when there's congestion. We are chatting with Amber Mack, tech expert, sharing with us some summer tech ideas. And for all these products, by the way, if you want to learn pricing, you can go to Amber's website, ambermack.com, for a deeper dive on these products, including videos of them as well. Let's now pivot and talk about making cool drinks with the latest tech.
Yeah, so this is the Breville Blueser 3X Pro, and it is essentially like having three gadgets in one in the kitchen. So it allows you to juice, but you can also make blended drinks. And in fact, the blender attaches to the juicer, so you can blues. This is a new term for me as well. Yeah. It's super fun. I just did it on the weekend. So basically, you create a juice that goes into the blender, and then you add your frozen items, and then you put the blender back on the base of the blueser. So basically, if you think about making really cold frozen drinks like margaritas, whatever it might be, the thing I love about this is that you can add that healthy juice as well. So it's great to have this all in one because counter space is something that not a lot of us have. Mm-hmm. So the idea is that you have these three devices in one.
Okay, so that's the Breville Blueser 3X Pro. All right. And speaking of staying healthy this summer, let's talk fitness tech for the outdoors.
Yeah, so I love trying a bunch of different types of earbuds. And most recently, I tried out the Huawei FreeBuds 4i. So these are really affordable, just over $100. A couple things that are great. They have 10 hours of battery life. They also have a quick charging mode. They also have active noise cancellation technology and an awareness mode. So let me break that down for a second. Imagine you're out walking and you get a call from work and you want to make sure that it's not really loud in the background. It will actually reduce the sound of the wind noise in the background. So that's one feature it has in terms of that noise cancellation. It also has an awareness mode. So if you are walking or running and you need to just kind of tap on the earbuds, that means you'll be able to hear around you so that you can hear traffic and any other type of noise. So again, a really great option for people who want noise cancellation, but don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
All right. The Huawei FreeBuds 4i for music lovers. And Amber, let's end off on something for those who like to camp or cook outside, myself included, and also want to charge their devices at the same time. I think you have an all-in-one solution to share with us.
Yeah, this is from BioLite. It's called the Camp Stove 2 Plus. And basically, it allows you to cook outdoors if you're camping, and you can use just twigs. So you drop twigs into a canister, and it's a smokeless experience. So you no longer need to bring gas canisters when you want to cook while you're camping. So essentially, what it's doing is allowing you to cook your own food. You can also make coffee, but at the same time, it's using all that energy, Mark, to charge the battery that sits on the side of the camp stove. That means that you can charge your electronics like a phone or even any other type of camp light that you may have that has a USB connector. So this is green technology at its best and really fun for the great outdoors.
Okay, dumb question, just because I haven't seen it with my own eyes yet, but obviously the battery is far away from any kind of flame that the stove is using. I mean, you said it's like off to the side.
Yeah, it almost snaps into the side, but it's a really fair question. So basically what happens is the battery kind of snaps into the side, and then you are cooking in the main canister that has a cover on it. So, they've designed this so that it is safe.
Right, I would think so. Yeah.
There's no big flames or anything that you need to worry about, no smoke that you have to worry about, but they're really focusing on those people who want to have a green and clean experience when they are camping and cooking. So they have done really well with this product, and it's super, super cool. Again, who wants to hike or camp and have gas with them all the time, right? So this just makes it that much easier.
Great. Amber, so the best website again is simply ambermac.com. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. ambermac.com. You can see the list of all of these 6 picks for a great summer with technology.
And I hope you have a great summer as well. And I look forward to chatting with you again. Thanks again, Amber.
All right. Thanks so much, Mark.
Hey, as I mentioned earlier, this show is powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, including its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, monitors, smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and much more. And if you're a gamer, you got to check out the ROG or Republic of Gamers line of gear under the ASUS banner. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. If you're on social media, come by and say hi this weekend. I'm online. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. It's Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, SALTZMAN. And if you want to follow me on those platforms like Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn, I write a tech tip of the day. Just a little way of getting more out of your tech in plain English, saving you time, money, and aggravation. When we return on Tech It Out, you've heard of fake news, but what about fake reviews? We're going to learn all about that with a company called Nixplay when we return on Tech It Out. Stick with us.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out. We've heard the phrase fake news a lot over the past couple of years, but one we should be hearing more about is fake reviews. After all, we as shoppers rely heavily on reviews before making purchasing decisions, whether it's a product, a service, or a vacation. To talk with us about fake reviews and how to spot them, we're joined by Mark Palfreyman. He's the CEO of Nixplay, a leading digital photo frame company, and one of Amazon's top sellers in personal technology. Welcome to the show, Mark.
Thanks very much for having me on, Mark. Much appreciated.
Sure. Now, before we talk about the problem of fake reviews, please tell us a bit about Nixplay. What's the company all about?
Sure. Nixplay is an established sort of private family network, and it's really around a family's content, photos, videos, and the ecosystem consists generally, most people start with one of our nice digital photo frames, and connected to the digital photo frame can be several frames, mobile apps. It's also all connected together with a cloud. And really, it's a sort of a platform and an ecosystem that allows families to privately share their best moments, memories via video and photos. And we also have a subscription service, which gives you even more services around, for example, the ability to print photos at cost, as much as you want to, so to speak. So that's been very popular. And a typical customer that we serve is really the family, and it tends to happen around sort of new parents, young parents who then buy a frame, gift it to their parent, to the grandparents, uncles, aunts, families, and then the whole family sort of shares content. And over time, they tend to buy more frames. And so we're really about servicing the family around their private photo needs. And so with the number one selling in the US, we have over 2 million customer accounts. And like I said, it's growing fast, and it's a very, very exciting time for our business.
What's your best-selling digital photo frame right now?
Right now, it's the Nixplay 10-inch smart frame.
Okay.
And MSRP is $180.
Okay, $180. All right. So it's comparable to other digital photo frames. And I know there's been a sort of a resurgence in interest in this category. I remember it was very popular a few years ago. But I love the idea of gifting this, like you said, to your parents, your grandparents. And then do you email them a photo, like to a special email address, and then it pops up on their digital photo frame wherever they're living?
Yeah, sure. So actually, you can email it, but the mobile app is by far and away the best and easiest way to do it. If you really want, you can also do it from a web browser. So we try to make it as convenient as possible for as many different members of the family as possible.
All right, great. Thanks, Mark. Okay, so it's no secret that online shoppers are being swayed to buy a product when you land on a site like an Amazon, for example, based on reviews. So what's going on here? What's the bigger problem?
So actually, the reviews are being written by, I would say, in inverted commas, legitimate customers, people who have real accounts. They're real people. They probably buy a lot of other stuff on Amazon. But the difference is that they're getting free products in return, specifically from sort of, the fraudulent brands, in return for writing the fake reviews. And so what typically happens is a brand will make a direct agreement with a customer. The person then goes and buys the product. They post a fake review, and then they send a link to it back to the brand. And when the brand sees it, they then reimburse the full amount of the product via PayPal to the customer. And so essentially they are getting free products for those fake reviews. So it's very hard for people to tell. This is relatively new. It's only been going on for a few years now. But, things take time to sort of mushroom into volume. And it's only the last sort of year, 18 months where it truly sort of gains scale.
Yeah, this is a big problem. I can see this is a real issue because we're trusting those reviews to make a decision when they, in fact, have been compensated by the company. Can you quantify how bad of an issue is it?
I think, so first of all, I can only give you what facts I know, but it doesn't necessarily represent the whole picture. But for example, we know at least there's 200,000 customers that had their names on a database leak, and that I'm sure is not all of it. Amazon is pretty big, so 200,000. It's big, but it's not massive. But almost for sure there are other databases and other offenders that haven't sort of come to light. I think as well that this is not endemic in every category. I think it's mainly in categories that are either more competitive, also maybe have a larger proportion of new brands coming in. So it tends. I think it's sort of more around sort of tech, basically.
Okay. And speaking of Amazon, I know they recently took some steps to fight back. Tell us what happened last month.
Sure. At the beginning of May, a cybersecurity review organization called Safety Detectives uncovered a database. That database alone exposed direct messages between, as I said before, about 200,000 customers. Now, the problem is, though, is that right now, obviously, this has only been done by private organizations sort of doing the investigation, but Amazon has taken it seriously and they've taken a lot of actions. Exactly the full extent of what they have or haven't done isn't really known, but they seem to have taken strong steps to sort of action this. Mm-hmm. And, it takes a little bit of time, I think, for them to sort of get around to every offender and everything. And at the same time, I know it's very difficult for them because a lot of these customers, they're real people. They've done something which in totality causes problems for everyone. But individually, it's very difficult for Amazon to deal with this. So I personally have a lot of, I'm very sensitive to the difficulties they're having, but they do seem to be taking action, yes.
Good to hear. We'll continue chatting about fake reviews when we return on Tech It Out.
Want to follow Mark? Google him, Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We are chatting with Mark Palfreyman. He is the CEO of Nixplay, a leading digital photo frame company. So this is obviously, as you hinted at, it's big money for Amazon and they're getting paid. So it's not them, it's the customers who are being reimbursed. So you would think that they would turn a blind eye to this. So I would applaud Amazon for taking these steps to go after companies like, and I'll mention them by name because I know professionally you don't want to, Mark, but MPOW and Aki. Do you think Amazon has done enough? I mean, this sounds like a pretty big deal.
So the thing is this, is that Amazon should definitely be applauded. Why? It's genuinely difficult for them to deal with this because these are real customers on one end of the equation. You don't always know every single instance and circumstance. But on the other hand, I would say, the data probably is solid, but it's still very difficult for them to act. And so I think that Amazon only has one choice, which is to deal with the brands. And by acting, it makes it public. But on the other hand, I think that that's what everyone wants, most of all the customers. They want to see Amazon doing something about this. And the other thing is this, is that, people forget Amazon pioneered and built up, the world's largest review system, which genuinely benefits the customers. It benefits everyone, actually, when people make it work. Personally for me and for my colleagues, and I'm sure the same for other sort of genuine, hardworking companies, it's heartbreaking stuff because, and it sounds a bit dramatic, but it really is because, we get out of bed every day. We work our socks off. We pour our hearts and souls into creating great products, providing great customer service, and doing everything we can for the customer, investing everything we have into it. And so it's critical that Amazon goes after people who are sort of messing with the foundation. The customer ultimately wins with a strong review system, and also ultimately lose with a bad review system.
Thanks for that. Now, as we wrap up, what can we do as consumers to make sure that reviews we're reading are legitimate?
Yeah. So first of all, it is hard, but you can do it. I always say trust your gut. First things first. People are very good at sniffing this out if they know it's going on. But a few things you can do is when you have a look and you are a little bit suspicious, start with the negative reviews. Have a look at the negative reviews and see if they seem to contradict what a lot of people are saying about the good reviews. So if all the good reviews are saying like, oh, this thing's, it's great, it's so reliable, it never breaks, it's such high quality, and yet there's a strong undercurrent of negative reviews going, no, don't listen, this stuff's rubbish, it's low quality, etc. That tends to be one telltale sign. And then another one as well, which is a little bit more tricky to do, but it is very solid, and it's our recommended way of doing it, is that every single product listing has a date that it was listed. It's about halfway down the product listing, and it will give the date that the product was first listed on Amazon. If the date, generally you can see if the date's fairly recent, and yet it's got an insane number of good reviews, or just an insane number of reviews in total, that is a huge telltale sign. And especially if it's like a brand or a product that you would typically not expect to be selling well, that's a huge telltale sign. It doesn't mean that obviously new products can't sell well, but it tends to be the biggest giveaway. One of the methods I would recommend against are web browser plugins or websites that claim to be able to spot product listings with fake reviews or spot the fake reviews themselves. I've never seen one that works properly, and I think that you would only find it very misleading to use something like that. So at the end of the day, I think you kind of got to trust your gut. Like I said, look at the date that the product was listed. It's about halfway down the product listing, and sort of have a look at the number of reviews. And if it just looks a bit too good to be true, then one should be suspicious.
Yeah, so apply some common sense and speak with your dollars. If you get the product, if you were duped into a fake review and you buy it and it is garbage, return it, because you're speaking with your money, and Amazon's going to take notice. There's a lot of people who shop online and they do not take the time to return it because they can't be bothered. Definitely return it. Amazon, for one, makes it very easy to return something you're not happy with, so do it.
At the end of the day, though, it's customers that are doing this. It seems like not a big deal when you're doing it individually, but if you actually take a step back and think about it, it's, my message is, don't sell out, so to speak, for so little. Don't lie for the sake of one gift from a brand that probably makes bad products, because if they made good products, they wouldn't need to do it.
Yeah, good point.
So just, no need to sell out the entire system for so little.
Yep, great point. Why don't we end it off there, Mark? To learn more about Nixplay, however, what's the best website to get going?
Nixplay.com, but obviously Amazon as well.
Okay, so nixplay.com, and then Amazon, you can search for Nixplay. Thank you so much for talking to us about fake reviews, Mark, and your product lineup as well. Be well. Thanks so much.
Indeed, Mark. Thank you very much.
This program, Tech It Out, is powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. And that includes its line of award-winning laptops, like its VivoBooks, including the one we gave away 2 weeks ago. It's ZenBooks, ExpertBooks, and Chromebooks as well. Head over to asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. As I mentioned earlier in the program, I write a tech tip of the day on social media. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, it's Mark Saltzman, MarkSaltzman, or you can search for TTOTD, or one word, Tech Tip of the Day, and you'll find my posts, and I would love to chat with you on social media as well. So one example from last week, on Thursday, I wrote about a secret Google Chrome browser trick that you probably don't know about. Did you know that you can cast your screen wirelessly to a nearby TV? So you probably know that you can cast content from, say, the YouTube app on your iPhone or Android device to a smart TV, so long as they're both on the same Wi-Fi network. But did you know that if you right mouse click anywhere on a web page in Google Chrome, you'll see an option that says Cast or Cast Media. Click that and select where you want to cast your content to. It'll say like Samsung 65-inch smart TV or whatever. Select that, and now you can browse the web and watch video and all that on a big screen television with no wires, but right from your Google Chrome browser on your laptop or desktop. Really cool stuff. Those are the kinds of tech tips of the day that I like to share. If you want to follow me on social media, just easy ways to get more out of your tech, saving you time, money, and aggravation. All right, we're going to be back with more Tech It Out when we learn about an app called Pastimes, when we catch up with its founder and CEO right after this on Tech It Out. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. Especially as we may be craving more human interaction these days, an app like Pastimes, which also lets you arrange for social activities safely outdoors, may be just what the doctor ordered. Joining us on the line to talk about Pastimes, Forrest Good, the CEO and co-founder of Pastimes. Welcome to the show, Forrest.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me.
So I know you're in beautiful Utah, so perhaps I shouldn't be too surprised that you helped to create Pastimes. Tell us about it at a high level.
Yeah, so Pastimes is an app that's available to download right now, and it's free for finding like-minded partners for outdoor activities.
So when you say partners, is it like a dating app, or is it more for a group of people?
Yeah, so Pastimes is not a dating app, but it's for finding either partners that are like-minded to do outdoor activities at your skill level, or it's for finding community events that are happening. This could be just local people that want to get out and do a mountain bike ride or a hike or a rock climb.
Okay, got it. So I know there are about 80 activities or so that you can choose from within the app, as you mentioned, from biking and skiing to surfing and hiking. What are some of the most popular ones?
Yeah, so hiking and rock climbing, we really started in the fall and winter. So we've focused on the winter activities, which were skiing, backcountry skiing, and snowshoeing. And as we transitioned to spring, we've seen a lot more hiking, cycling. Mountain biking has been a really explosive activity in the spring.
It sounds like it was created during the pandemic. Was it initiated because of that? The fact that it's safer to be outdoors if you're going to be seeing anybody at all? Or was Pastimes conceived BC? Before COVID?
Yeah, so we actually did have the eureka moment before the pandemic. And what was exciting is, as we were working on a social platform for in-person connection, we at first were thinking that this was not a great time, but we saw all of the shift in activities towards outdoor activities. And then we really doubled down on building out the idea that we had and launched during the pandemic.
Thank you for the clarification. What states is Pastimes available in?
We're across the US. We are available, and then in Canada as well. And then we're looking to launch in other countries as well later this year.
Oh, cool. I didn't know it was in Canada as well. This is great. Can you walk us through how it works for us? Like, for example, is it an app that you first download, or do you go to a website first? And then once you do sign up in Pastimes, walk us through the process if you can.
Sure. So you can download the app on both the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store for Android. And once you can go over to pastimes.io, www.pastimes.io, and there are links to the App Store, or you can just search for Pastimes in the App Store. And once you download the app, you can then create an account. And in order to create an account, you have to use a valid phone number. And this is for the safety of the community, because we use a valid phone number to verify identities, because the app is focused on bringing in-person connection together.
Speaking of a phone element, talk to us about the messaging or the comments component. It's all baked into the app itself, right?
Yeah. So once you download the app, the big technology here is decoupling the fragmented groups that exist today. So where you could join a Facebook group in a specific geography, location, or for a specific activity, what Pastimes does is it onboards you for all the activities that you like in your location. And then you're able to use tooling to find the people that are at the same skill level. And so the way that the app brings you together is really through an availability, and people go on the app and post when they're available to do an activity. And then when others are also available, the app sends you a notification, and then you can send messages back and forth with the people that you feel comfortable after you look at their profile to see if there's a like-minded connection in terms of skill level or gender preferences that you're looking to do.
All right. I asked you earlier about walking us through the process. So once you do sign up and you do give a valid phone number, do you tick off what outdoor activities you are interested in and what skill levels you're at? Or is that only once you get an invite to do something in your area?
No, at any time you can onboard your profile, and you can add each of the activities that you like to do. And then you can go in and put more rich information for each of the activities. And that includes your skill level, years of experience, any gear that you use or need, and then as well as photos of you doing those activities.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you more about that in a moment. Once you've had an adventure outdoors with some like-minded folks in your area, how you can share your memories there. We are chatting with Forrest Good. He's the CEO and co-founder of a company called Pastimes. They've got an app of the same name. It's available for iPhone and Android devices. So you were talking about sharing photos and I think videos as well of your adventures. How do you go about doing that? And can you also post outside of Pastimes? Like, let's say you want to post it to, I don't know, Instagram or Facebook or what have you?
So Pastimes is a tool for connecting with people in person. You're using it as an app to then set up outings or meetups with others in your local area. So really the tooling and the technology is focused on the discovery of other people. And once you do connect or attend an event, right now, you are not creating photos because we want it to be more of that tool to get you outside and less of an Instagram or a Facebook where you're really engaging in screen time. And so in the future, we are looking at how we can bring the diary or the journal of your adventure and really put it back into the app, but only to help facilitate the connection so that you feel really comfortable about finding someone else who's done previous events and you feel comfortable attending an event with them in the future.
Well, hey, I'm excited to check it out for myself. The website, once again, is pastimes.io, or you could just search for the word Pastimes, one word, at the Apple App Store for iPhone or the Google Play Store for Android. Thanks again, Forrest. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
As I mentioned earlier in the program, I had a lot of fun on Thursday doing back-to-back interviews across the country, talking about summer tech, some for the outdoors, some for the indoors, to stay cool with some cool tech. So I thought I'd walk through those 6 items with you. If you're, maybe even looking for a gift idea for dads and grads, let's start off with a brand new game out last week, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. This is an enhanced and expanded reimagining of one of the most critically acclaimed video games of all time, Final Fantasy VII. If you remember that one, I sure do. Now playable, though, on PS5 in 4K resolution, or you can choose to play a silky smooth 60 frames per second version for added fluidity, nice and smooth graphics. It includes the new Final Fantasy VII Remake episode called Intermission, featuring Yuffie as a main character. There's a new story arc and gameplay additions and so on. So it's that gorgeous fantasy RPG you remember, but upgraded for 2021. From Square Enix, it's only $69. Now, speaking of games, console gamers who need more storage and speed should pick up a WD Black D30 Game Drive SSD. It looks like, maybe a little bit bigger than a pack of Tic Tacs. And you plug it into your Xbox or your PlayStation through the USB port, and not only can it store up to 50 games on its 2 terabyte version, but since it's a solid state drive or SSD, you can access game content super quickly compared to like a hard drive. It works with Xbox or PlayStation as well as PCs and Macs. And again, the idea is that it's not just high storage, because a lot of us are now downloading games instead of buying them on disk, but it means faster speeds, accessing faster content, which is critical if you're a gamer. Prices for the WD Black D30 Game Drive SSD start at $89. Something for the younger ones in the family. For those kids ages 3 through 6, Leapfrog Academy is an interactive learning program that has more than 2,000 learning adventures as part of the subscription service. And that includes many games, activities, ebooks, and more. It's designed by educators, as you may or may not know, and blending traditional school subjects like the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s with creativity, social emotional skill building, and problem solving, to name a few. You can play on a computer, a tablet, like an iPad, a smartphone, and even save games to play offline. Maybe you're going on a road trip this summer and you're not going to want to rely on precious data. You can download so many of those games to play offline. After the 2-month free trial, it's $7.99 a month for Leapfrog Academy. Next up, some big screen fun for the family that won't break the bank. Vizio is now the #2 TV company in the US, and they have a whole new lineup of televisions, along with soundbars to amplify your TV audio. On the TV side, it includes updates to SmartCast, Vizio's award-winning smart TV platform, with access to hundreds of free channels and apps. I love the free content. It also includes a TV remote with voice control. Vizio wants to make premium home entertainment accessible and affordable. The TVs start at only $139 and soundbars start at only $99. Now, what to watch on that big screen TV? Out this week is Indiana Jones' 40th anniversary 4K Ultra HD set. That's right, 40 years since Raiders of the Lost Ark debuted in theaters in 1981. Yep, that was 40 years ago. Paramount and Lucasfilm lets you relive the exploits of the world-renowned archaeologist adventurer, Indiana Jones, with all 4 films together in one box in 4K Ultra HD resolution, and with Dolby Vision and HDR10 support for even more of a vivid picture for those TVs that support it. On the audio side, these movies have been remastered with Dolby Atmos sound. There's 7 hours of bonus content between the 4 flicks, a collectible booklet, and more. These are Blu-ray discs and digital copies, by the way, in case you don't have a Blu-ray player anymore, but that's where you'll get the best quality picture and sound. And it's about $90 for this Indiana Jones 40th anniversary 4K Ultra HD set. Now let's end off on something for the backyard, the Traeger Ironwood Wood Pellet Grill. With the Traeger, if you're not aware, you can grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, and more, all on this one grill. Food, first of all, is absolutely delicious with the wood pellets, and you can get different flavors if you want, like hickory or apple or cherry-soaked wood. It's up to you. I like the regular wood pellets myself, but being a geek, I also love the Wi-Fi technology. So yes, it does have an advanced controller on the barbecue itself with a digital display, but on the Traeger app, you can see and control the temperature of the grill of your meat and can be notified when it's time to flip your steak, for example. So it's tailored to your desired doneness. You can see when it's time to top up the wood pellets because there's a sensor in that compartment as well. There's over 1,600 recipes to tackle on the app and a lot more. Not only does it work with the Traeger app over Wi-Fi, but it also supports Apple Watch and smart speakers like Google Nest or an Amazon Echo Dot speaker. You can actually say, turn on Traeger to 400 degrees or what have you. The Traeger Ironwood family of grills start at $11.99, so some tasty tech to end off this summer roundup of great gadgets, games, and gear. Something for everyone and all budgets. Hey, thank you for tuning in to Tech It Out, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the program. Have a safe and happy week ahead. Enjoy the summer weather. Hopefully it's nice where you are, and look forward to chatting with you next weekend for a brand new episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.